Hey everybody, Scout Crafty here again. It's Wednesday, midweek Wednesday. We got a lot to get to today. First thing I want to say is that a lot of guys have been posting videos on their Scout Crafty challenge for the Key Caddy, and what great ideas. A lot of you guys always surprise me with your great ideas, but we still have, it's due the 28th. The 28th, you could start sending in your pictures to me. I'll have a link down at the bottom, starting the 24th, starting Monday. You can send the pictures in between Monday and 28th, and then the following Monday we'll have a little montage of people that did it. So far, everybody's doing a great job. First up, quick recap. You remember I got that little mouse that my cat caught? And because I felt bad for it, I got it a friend. And anyway, and the friend had babies, 11. She had another litter. And 13 this time, I think. I don't know. Things are crazy here. It's just crazy. And you know what? My buddy Tom Carolla just went, oh God, oh God. Anyway, I know it's nuts. It's nuts, I know. But here's the deal. I just found out that a mouse can get pregnant 24 hours after a litter. Now, my girlfriend told me, you got to separate them. I said, she's not going to get pregnant because she's feeding her litter. How's she going to get pregnant? I don't know. I don't know where they find the time. I don't have that kind of time. Check this out. Okay, welcome to Mouseland. So I separated them yesterday. Here's why I had to go out and get a couple more fish tanks. And yes, they are secure. Now, these are the males, okay? Look at remember the ones you saw, the little pink guys? Well, this is them, the males, okay? And let me tell you something. I have utmost respect for these guys. That's the males. These are the females. There's only 4 females. There's, I think, 7 males or whatever. And let me show you who started the whole thing. Was this little McGinty here. Started the whole thing with me buying her. She is a reproductive maniac. And let me show you what's under here. Look at this. That's right. The new batch. There you go. There's a little better view. So I have to tell you, she's a good mother, but she might even be pregnant again. I'm telling you, this is out of control. She's out of control. Look at her. Look at her. I hope she ain't pregnant again. So now you can see I can't wait for spring to come quick enough. But I do have a lot of respect for these little guys because I outweigh them by about 239 pounds, each one of those mice. And yet they stood their ground when I was trying to sex them and find out by picking them up by the tail. One of them, actually, they try and bite you. And they do give a good bite. These aren't your regular little white, cute, domesticated house mice, the mice you get at the pet store. These guys got the wild streak in them, and I respect that, These guys, which is good. They can handle themselves when they get out in the wild, and that's why I'm keeping them on a high protein and a high exercise diet so that they have a fighting chance when they get out there. I don't think Pipes will be able to catch that little one this time. All right, so with that, let's see what we got going on today. We got a bunch of things to talk about. Let's get right to it. Okay, for today, I figure we do a little show and tell kind of episode. I got a lot of things on the back burner I've been putting off. I got some great projects coming up and things we want to talk about. So let's get right to it. It's Wednesday. First up, you know how we all love this glue. It's cyanoacrylate. It's really good. It's a quick setting, strong glue. The problem is the shelf life. A lot of times, like this one here, they get hard. Once you open it up, the air gets to it. Eventually, they harden up, and it's a shame because it's not cheap glue to begin with. But I was at the Dollar Tree. Okay, the Dollar Tree has some hidden gems in that store. And look what I found. Super glue, single-use super glue. So it comes 4 of these in a package. And when you need it, it has this little top here. And it punctures the metal tin, opens it up. And the stuff is good. It works. And it's strong. It's a good quality glue. It's made in Taiwan. So you could see here, made in Taiwan. It's a good quality glue. Dollar Tree. Something to pick up next time you're over there. Great little item. Now, there was a couple jacks that we still didn't cover on our last jack episodes, and I just want to cover this one because a lot of people ask about. This is called the High Lift Jack. It's a regular farm jack. I'm going to put it on this base that I made. just to show you and demonstrate it. But let me tell you, this is a fantastic jack, and it's unchanged for about 100 years. Let me show you how it works. Now, the high lift, or farm jack as it's known, has so many uses, and I did an extensive video on this that I'll put a link in the description if you are interested. But I want to just show you the mechanism on this, because like I said, it is unchanged. And you see these holes here. Well, there are 2 pins, and what happens is it uses the leverage principle, and these pins, one pin will engage the hole, and the other pin will use a lever to use and raise it up, and then the other pin will engage it, and it'll keep creeping up here. And it's really interesting to watch it work. And you can use this jack for so many things. You can even use it for a come-along. But let me show you the action, because I always thought that was fascinating. The first thing we're going to do is spray a little bit of lubricant on there, because that's the first thing you always want to do with these jacks. Now, I'm just going to use a little tri-flow just on the pins, and that's it. That's all you need. Okay, to engage the jack, we're just going to raise this up like that. Now it's ready to go. And we're going to pull this handle back and start cranking it up, and I'll show you what it looks like as it comes up. You see that? One pin will engage, and then it'll rest on the other one until you hear that click. Now, this jack is good for about 7,000 pounds, but it's just interesting the way, let me raise the camera a little bit. You could see the mechanism, how that works. Just absolutely fascinating. Always loved this jack, but they used to call it the Widowmaker because you have to be knowledgeable on how to use this, and it does put some weight on the handle, and it could clock you in the head if you're not careful. One interesting part about this jack, a lot of people don't know, that if you loosen up this top bolt here, you could see the cutaway. See how that's cut like that? If you turn it 90 degrees, tighten up this bolt, now this jack will become, you see, we tighten that up. Now this jack will become a clamp. Now here I want to demonstrate the clamping power. It's like a miniature dake. You can push this down here. Now here you can see if you needed to use it for a clamp of some sort, you could raise it up and get it into the clamping area like this and press down, and you have a tremendous amount of force that you could put onto whatever you wanted to clamp down, and you know, you have crushing force actually. Okay, next up, you know, we're all familiar with these fantastic inventions. The smoke detector has saved countless lives. Fantastic invention, and I have a bunch of them around the house. Good to keep one down by the shop, all different places. Especially you can find them inexpensive a lot of times at hardware stores or whatever. If you don't have one, you should at least pick 1 or 2 up. They could save your life. But did you know they had a similar item back in the 40s and 50s? Here it is, a beautiful 1950s, 60s. You know, they were made for quite a while. This one here, it's a mechanical fire alarm, and what this would do, this was a little thermostat in here, and when the temperature reached 135 degrees, this would sound off. And this is a heavy-duty unit, and it has quite a weight to it, you know, 3 or 4 pounds at least. Let me show you how, and look at this beautiful clip, how this works as far as hanging this on the wall. You could take this bracket and put it on, and here you could see it was made by this one was made by Mdeco, and they were out of Torrance, California. And you can see here this to rewind it, you wound this up, and this was a thermostat in here, and this was a little test lever. So we're going to wind it up, and it shows you to hold the cover in left hand. This is the cover, and then we're going to turn this, and you rotate this clockwise, and hear it clicking. You hear it clicking. So you rotate this until you're satisfied with how much is wound, and then you could test it like this, and this is what it would sound like. Ready for this? Absolutely cool. Let's test it out. I never tested this before. Let's get the heat gun and see if this thing works. Test this. We just temporarily mounted it into a vise here. What we're going to do is We're going to hit it with the heat gun and see. Another reason you need to get one of these fantastical things, and see how long it takes for this to go off. I'll just turn this on. Okay, that was very interesting. First of all, the bell went off for about 90 seconds, and that seems like a long time when you hear that bell in your ear. It's pretty loud, nowhere near like the modern smoke detectors. Now, after that goes off, which it did via the thermostat, you have to take a pencil, the back end of a pencil erase, and just touch here, and you'll hear a little click. And that resets the thermostat. This thermostat is now reset. And you always have that. You could test this here just to see if it's working. But the thermostat will pop, and then it has to be reset with the pencil. And then that's it. You're good to go. Now, let's talk about the pros and cons of these things. First of all, it's a permanent device. No batteries, anything like that. It's nicely made. You can pick these up on eBay very cheap, $10, $15. But the problem is, okay, at 135 degrees when it hits this is what this is set off to go. There's a good chance by that time, if the flames are that high, that it gets that hot, that, this is meant that when you hear this, you run. Like with a regular smoke detector, when you hear that go off, you go there with a fire truck and say, what's going on? Smoldering, you have much more warning. This thing, when you hear this, the flames are already out of control. But it's pretty cool, huh? 1950 circa, made to last forever. Nice unit, love it. Next up, I'm watching my buddy Snap Ring Chronicles. Now, if you want to know anything about any kind of ratchet, that's the guy. He's the foremost expert on ratchets and has he strips them down. That's what he does on his channel. Great guy. And he happened to put out on his channel, he said, hey guys, I just picked up a toolbox. It was on Amazon Flash. You know how they have those specials, Flash or deals or something like that. $15. So I was like, well, I'm there. Went to Amazon, $15 shipped to the house. How can they do that? I don't know. Let's check it out. Okay, here we go. That's a nice color, isn't it? Okay, so let's take a look. I don't see any damage. Look at that. How perfect. No dents, no nicks, just perfect, right? It's a cantilever style toolbox. If you don't know how that works, you put the handle up in the middle like this. You lift up the two sides like this, and they pull out. Okay, and then you could see here you have quite a bit of storage. I like these, especially if you have a lot of different parts and things like that. This is great if you're doing leather working or something or whatever. And it's not Kennedy quality for $15 shipped to the house. Do you know how much it costs to ship anything today? So I don't know. I think it's really have to tell you. And there's a little hole here that you could put a padlock. See it? And what a nice little box, huh? I'm telling you, extremely happy with it. Special thanks to my buddy over at Snap Ring Chronicles for hooking us up with this deal. I don't know how much it is now. I'll put the link where I got, when they usually have deals. But even if it was $20 shipped to the house, how can you beat that box? What a nice little box. Okay, last up, I'd like you to join me in my time machine as we go back in time for some of us older guys to a good memory growing up. One of the greatest toys ever invented, the Plastic Army Man. That's right, Plastic Army Men. Who doesn't remember growing up with these things? Now, these were the jumbo. These were the more rare type. Usually the smaller ones were about 2 inches in height, and these were more closer to 6 inches. These were a Marx casting, and they had some great figures here. Let me show you a couple of the details. Now, Army Men go back to the plastic ones, were invented about 1938, but they really hit their heyday in the 50s. And let's take a look at some of the details on some of these beautiful castings. Look at the face on here. Look how detailed that face is. Again, this is a larger figure. They had the M1 helmet with the straps flying back, simulating movement. Here he was with his carbine in here, and he had his bayonet and his canteen, and obviously the boots And the fatigues, no side pockets. So this was, you know, probably World War II vintage. And how cool is that? They had many different positions that we would all try and use and set up. Look at the detail on some of this. Look at the cartridge belt. You could see the webbing in here with the eyelets, you know, and they were hung up on here. And look, you know, everything on here. Look at the face, the jawbone here. He's got a good stock weld on that M1 carb. Looks like a Garand, right? And just nice, you know. They really did a nice job, and even the creases in the uniform. Again, this was, you know, molded plastic. They were pretty much unbreakable. I always got a kick out of the guy throwing a grenade. Again, look at the detail in the face. Look at that. The mouth is open. The chin strap is on for the helmet. He's got a grenade. You could see here the pineapple grenade. He's ready to throw. Here he's got his Thompson machine gun, and again. Oh, ready to launch that grenade. These guys always came in handy in our, you know, makeshift combat. Now, this is how you could tell we came from it. This is a non-politically correct area, because look at here. Look at this figure here. This one here, he's about to rifle butt some poor enemy combatant in the head or whatever. And, you know, look at the grimace on his face, you know. Obviously, he's got that 1,000-yard stare. You know, the guy's been in combat for a while. He's a little emaciated from not eating 3 squares a day, and he's ready to do some justice with that Garand. And you know how much they weigh, and just amazing. Again, cartridge belt, the way it clipped in the front, the pockets, the flaps. I mean, the detail is amazing. Now, Marks really was popular with putting out a lot of these sets. They had different ones. They had Cowboys and Indians. They had the Civil War sets. They had all different kind of sets, and they came with all different accessories. You know, like the Battleground or the World War II set would come with tanks and would come with you know, different vehicles, Jeeps, things like that. And some of the other ones would come with, they even had like Crusades. They were plastic injection molded, and they were kind of unbreakable. We had a lot of fun with them. They had all different kinds. And I tell you, there's one video out there on YouTube that I'll put a link in the description if you haven't seen it before. It is the best stop-action plastic soldier movie ever created, I think. Mike Ackerman did it about 2011, I think he did it. And what a great movie. It was stop action, and it was just enjoyable. Did it in his backyard. Fantastic movie. Great sound effects, great editing. Amazing what this guy did. Still holds up today as I think the best on YouTube with all the CGI and everything. That was amazing. So anyway, just want to bring you back in time. I know that you guys probably played in dirt piles in the back like I did with those soldiers for a while, and it was a lot of fun growing up. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again on Friday. Take care now. Bye-bye.